Okay, in this video we're going to look at how to use Amazon Educate in order to set up an Apache server and then install MySQL and PHP It can be a wee bit of a tricky process, so I'm just going to walk you through. I'm using the instructions from Lucidar. So this website here, if I go on here, this site here has got some really good instructions, so that's what I'm going to be basing this on, and I'll walk you through it. Okay, so if I go to AWS Educate and log into Educate there, and I've got my my username and password set up, and just click on sign in. So in this, I'm going to use Cloud9. Okay, but what I need to do in order to get onto that is go to AWS account up at the top, and AWS starter account. That takes me into Vicarium, where you can run your labs, and then it's AWS console is what I'm looking for. So at this part I'm going to look for the Cloud9. Now, if this is your first time, you won't have Cloud9 up in the recently visited services, but you can find it if you scroll down the page, and where are we? There it is there, Cloud9. So Cloud9 was previously not owned by Amazon, and you can do a very simple install, but it's got a bit more complicated because it uses Ubuntu 18.04. What I'm going to do here, you can see I've got different trials that I've used on here. I'm going to create a new environment, and in here I'll just call this video demo install. You can write a wee description, just say Apache server. You don't need to write anything in there, that's optional. Click on next step. We're looking to create a new instance, so a new EC2. We'll go for micro, it's the smallest one. If you want something a wee bit faster, then you can choose other instance types, but because we're using the Educate account, we want to go something for the kind of the easiest and cheapest one. Platform, I'm going to choose Ubuntu server 18.04. I'm going to leave the cost saving settings as a default, and I'm going to click on next step. It gives you a wee overview of your environment names and settings, and create your environment there. Okay, it takes a wee second just to boot up the environment. So when we're doing this, the server as it goes would be absolutely fine to just play about with PHP on, but what we're looking to do is create PHP admin and install that on the Apache server. So it's a wee bit more complicated than it used to be. Not to say that you can't create a database without PHP admin. You can, but in terms of user friendliness and when you're working on a project, PHP admin's got a nice interface. So if you get stuck with your SQL, or you lose a password or forget a password, it's easier to fix. But as I say, you can do this without PHP admin, but I'm going to try and install it for this. So as you can see, it's connecting. The basic setup for Cloud9 is, if you're paying more, then it's quicker, bigger machines, but we're using the free version, so it will take a wee bit of time to connect up. The alternative to using this, Code Anywhere is there, but again, you're limited in terms of what you can do with free stuff. And there are free MySQL servers that we could use, but again, if we can keep everything in one place, then that's brilliant. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just stretch the terminal up here, so I'll just go down and drag that up. And I'm mainly going to be working in this terminal and using edits. The first thing I want to do is check the status. So I'm going to type in sudo service Apache2 status. And as you can see, that gives me the status of it. just says that it's running, so we can proceed. Now what I'm going to do in this, just to save a wee bit of time, and you can pause the video, I'm going to copy and paste some of these commands in. So the first thing I want to do, I want to edit the ports .conf file. So I am going to put sudo nano and then my path for the ports and press enter. What I need to do is change the ports. It's listening in port 80 at the moment, so I'm just going to use the cursor key and bring that down and change that to 8080. Oops, I need to put my number lock on. There we go. And all I do is Control X to exit it and press yes to save it and enter to take you out. Takes you back into your terminal. The next thing I want to do is I want to change the virtual host port to 8080 as well. So in this case, again, I'm going to use the sudo nano editor. In this case, it's Apache2 sites enabled 000-default.conf. Okay. Let's see if I can make that a wee bit bigger for you. There we go. So press enter, takes me in again. This page is a bit bigger, so I'm just going to use page down on my keyboard, and you can move out like that. Now in this case, what I want to change is the top line virtual host. I'm going to change that to 8080, and again it's the same as before. That's me finished with it, so I do Control X to exit, yes, Y to save, and press enter to confirm it. And that's me changed the ports. What I want to do now is I'm going to restart my server. So sudo service Apache2 restart. Press enter. Now what I want to do is see if this is working. So I'm going to go to preview and preview running application. And what I should now see is I can see my Apache Ubuntu default page in there. So I'm just going to leave that sitting there just now, but I will pop it out later on. So that is how you install the Apache, or you're able to see the Apache server. What I want to do next is change the root environment, the root directory. So again, I'll just nudge that along a wee bit. I'm going to use sudo nano. I'm going to go back into Apache2 folder, and it's the Apache2.conf file I'm going to change. Now this file's a bit bigger, so this is where, rather than using the mouse or using the arrow keys to scroll it, I'm going to use page down. And what I'm looking for here is the line of code that says directory/var/www. And if I scroll down, it's down towards the bottom, and I want to replace that. So I'll use my arrow key to move my mouse down. And it's this line of code here I want out, so I'm just going to delete that and put in this here. So that is directory/home/ubuntu/environment/. Okay, and I put that in there. Again, it's only change I'm making to this document at the moment, so Control X and save it, yes, and enter to come out. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change the default.conf file. So the path for that is sudo nano, and then you're going into your Apache2 sites enabled 000-default.conf. Press enter. This line here is quite an easy one to change. It's this document root line. So I'm going to come down and just take that out, and what I'm going to do is put in its place, we're going to set it up for the root of the Ubuntu environment. So it's document root /home/ubuntu/environment/, and again only one change, so Control X, Y to save it, and enter to come out. So what I want to do at this point, I want to run an index.php file. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go New. I'll go New from Template, and I'll choose PHP file. And I'm just going to scroll my terminal window down. Now I'm not putting in much PHP here at the moment. I am just going to put in echo, and I'll put in h1 Apache root directory changed. and I'll save that for a moment. I'll save this, Control S to save it, and I'm going to call it index.php and press enter. Okay, and what I'm going to do is go to preview and preview running app. Now, nothing might happen there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the pop out into new window, and just make sure I've saved it. And I'm not getting any change, so I'll go back into my browser window. I'll try restarting this server. Okay, and get the window up again. You see it's changed there, so I hadn't restarted the server. It can be a wee bit buggy, Cloud9, but I say it's worth persevering with. Okay, so I'm going to go to demo, back into my demo install. Right, so what I need to do now is I need to configure my htaccess file. So I'm going to go to File, New File, and in here I want to set a variable for the server to be able to read. So the code for that is set env capital S capital E and then envar, just going to put that in capital letters, test. So that puts the value test into the variable envar. Now I need to save this, save as, and it's .htaccess. Okay, I'm done with that just now. Now the only way I'll see if that's worked or not is if I edit my index page, so make sure you get that opened again, and I'm just going to do a variable dump. So I'm just going to say var underscore dump, oops, and I'm just going to look at the server, and I'm just going to put in envar because that was the name of my variable. Now hopefully what this will do is dump the information about the variable in the index page, and it should just say the word test. So I'm just going to save that. I will look at my page again and refresh it. It's saying null. So the reason it's saying null is that I've not enabled htaccess yet. So I'm going to have to go back in here and back into my terminal. So again, I'm just going to drag that up. So in the terminal, I'm going to type in, it's the Apache2.conf file I want to edit again. So sudo nano again, and in this case it is, if I can just close that bit down now and get my terminal back up. Okay, try that again. So it is sudo nano /etc /apache2 /apache2.conf, and again use page down. This time I'm just going to edit one word in this, and what I'm looking for is in the Ubuntu environment section here, allow override. I want to change that. I don't want that to say none anymore, so you just use your cursor to come down. I want to change that to all. And again, that's the only change I'm making, so Control X, yes to save it, and then enter. Okay, now if I click back out and go into my index page again and refresh, again it's not kicked in, so I might need to do a wee reinstall. In fact, what I'll need to do here is I'll need to enable mod rewrite. So we'll say sudo a2 nmod rewrite. And then what it says here, I can't do my normal reinstall, so what I'll need to do is do sudo system. Now it tells you the command there. So sudo system ctl restart Apache2. Okay, and now I'll try it. Now you can see it displays the variable, and it also displays the length. So it's just a var dump. Okay, so it's a string. It says the word test, and it's got 4 characters in it. That's fine. So that means that everything's working so far. So that is us got our Apache2 server working. In the next video, what I'm going to do is go out and do an installation of PHP MyAdmin.